Hey everybody, it's Melissa, and I wanted to share my latest project with y'all, and this is not it. This is just a tag I made a couple of weeks ago, but I will show you what I did make. This is my sketch I started off with. I entered Scrap in 2010. She's hosting her first swap, and it's a tag swap. And when I asked for the details, she told me that it would probably be a small swap. I wouldn't have to make more than 4 tags. So I decided to join, being a newbie to the swap scene. And her stipulations were medium weight chipboard, the Holtz Dressform die, sewing room, and you had to put a button on it. So this was my sketch, and this is what I came up with. I call it the Can Girl Backstage, with the seamstress thrown in there somewhere. Anyway, I used the graphics chipboard, it's heavyweight, I got it at Scrapbook Pal, and cut out the Holtz tag. That's my base, and then cut the dress form out of the same chipboard. And I left the dress form, the raw chipboard. I love that graphics chipboard. It's very smooth. It's a wonderful stamping surface, and it looks real vintage, so I just left it raw. On the actual tag, I took the My Mind's Eye Lost and Found, one of those sheets, and covered the actual tag. And in one of the corners of each, I put some graphic 45 paper. And then I just rolled the front piece of paper, the Lost and Found paper. And the inks I used are Vintage Photo, Walnut Satin, and I think I used a little bit of old paper. So I inked the edges and used a black, I think it's just dress ink, or either that or I used the Sharpie on the edges. I need to go back over it, as you can see. And then after I got all the tags ready, I stamped my information on the back, of course, and I put these measuring tapes down because, you know, I was thinking backstage there's always a seamstress back there fixing costumes. So I had a piece of, I think it's Paper Studio, the Hobby Lobby brand paper, that has all of the different measuring tapes on it. I've got a piece of it right here, a scrap of it right here. Anyway, I just cut strips out of this and inked it real well with a walnut satin ink, and just stuck it down. And then at the bottom I used, I call it the Mini Bloomers trim. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And then at the very bottom, isn't it too cha-cha, I put fringe, because of course every Can girl has to have fringe somewhere. I got this off Etsy from Frog Feathers. And after I did all that, I worked on the actual dress form and made a corset. And I will be honest with you, the first 2 were just, I was throwing things. I used just regular black cardstock and made a template out of a scrap piece of paper. Just traced the dress form and then adapted it. Used my Martha Stewart scoreboard so I could make a gusset. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I made a gusset. It actually does cinch together. And then used my piercing tool and pierced through all the layers, and then sewed the black, this is embroidery floss, through the holes to cinch it up, tied it in a bow. Then I went around the edges, the top and bottom, with black stickles, and I had some little bitty black lace, and I shoved that in the top, and then gathered some black tulle or netting, whatever you want to call it, gathered that together and crammed it up the front. That sounds so crude. I placed it underneath the corset and glued it down to make a petticoat. And then I took my black Viva Pearl pens that I got at Scrapbook Pal and made my bling, so to speak, or my swirls and flourishes. And then just a red aluminum flower. Now this flower was like super red. It was actually too red. So I took black StazOn ink and actually, there we go, it's focused now, sorry. I took the black StazOn ink and actually knocked down some of that color because it was really bright red. And that's how I made my tag. So, Scrappin' 2010, I hope that you like them, and I will get them in the mail as soon as I can. And y'all let me know what you think. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned or not, that's the actual button. It had to have a button. This is the button. And I used the flat back pearl dewdrop, is what it is, one of the dewdrops, the big ones, and put a piece of the paper that I punched out behind it with glossy accents and set that in the recess of the button, and black seam binding. So anyway, that's my tags, and leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. Bye.